Hey everybody, look at this. We're doing video now. We've gotten very, very advanced. Yes.
Yeah.
Anyway, in light of certain situations, our commentary, which they're doing okay right now,
Yeah.
we're gonna do it like this because this is the easiest way to get video synced up exactly. So, there's two ways you're watching this right now. Either you're listening to the full commentary, or you're watching this like spliced up like best of moments for YouTube. That's gonna have the video also. So, anyway, this is the story of Star Wars.
Let's chat with Pat 4. I guess for the audio, we'll... Oh, never mind, you hit play. It's all right. I'll drop down a timestamp.
Do you need captions?
Yeah, I'll take some captions, please. Thank you.
These are the 2019 cuts. This is the McClunky version. So
where did that name come from?
It comes from something they added that Greedo says right before Han Solo shoots him. We don't know what it means, why it's in there, but it's the most...
But why is it called McClunky, though?
Because that's what Greedo says.
Oh, McClunky, yeah.
McClunky. And so it's just the most memorable thing from this version, so it's what the cut is kind of referred to.
It's pretty bad, honestly. Like, I thought the days of...
completely pointless.
Yeah, the days of adding somewhat pointless things were over, but I guess not.
We need to do a commentary on the real one, on the VHS tape version.
Yeah.
Yeah, the 1984 CBS tape.
I will say there's some stuff going on at my neighbor's house, so if there's some background noise of that, if it sounds like a bobcat is right next to me.
I can't really hear anything, and all the recording, your audio for the, not the video, but the actual audio for the full commentary is coming from you. Yeah. I'm recording everything right now, pretty much. I'm recording the screen and all that, so... Shout out to Zoom for getting us through these trying times and allowing us to do this. Man, my lighting is horrible here.
It's okay. How many times do you think you've seen this? Because 1,000?
Enough. Enough.
Yeah, it's been... Do you think you can say every single line as it comes up?
No.
Yeah, I don't think I could do that. I don't think I could do that with any of them. Even though I've seen them hundreds of times.
No, the only movie I can really do that with is Groundhog Day.
I don't know, this is so weird.
I think I'm going to turn this down because I feel like you can't hear us. It's very loud on my end, even being so low.
Is it TC14?
I don't think so, because TC14 wouldn't have that. They would have been a separatist droid, right? Because they were on the Trade Federation ship.
Did C-3PO have his silver leg in?
In episode 4. In episode 4, he does.
Not 3.
No, not 3.
What's the story on 6? That?
I think it was actually something to do with the lighting and the camera for him in this is what it was, really. It wasn't... There was no, story behind it.
I mean,
I'm sure someone's added some...
Either that or to sell an action figure.
Yeah. That's why he has a red arm in 7. That's another version of C-3PO to sell.
I mean, I guess after 7 there wasn't any new additions.
Well, he had the red arm. He had the red arm in 7, but then in 8, he went back to the gold arm.
Right.
Right?
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
And then in 9, he also had the gold arm. But in 9, he had the thing where his eyes turned red, so that's another version to sell. They were barely in 8. Well, R2 was in 8 a little bit, but C-3PO was hardly in 8.
Let's focus on the OT here. You know, I don't know how they don't get hit when they cross through right here. Maybe it's the whole Rogue One, the Force is guiding the laser beams.
Yeah.
You know, I'm talking about how Rogue One kind of, it almost alluded to that, to where, you know, the Force is with me, or whatever that guy says, I'm with the Force is with me.
I want the Force is with me. I want the Force is with me.
And so therefore the Force guides them laser beams out of the way.
So what's that character's name, Nathan?
Which one?
No, the character in Rogue One that you're talking about. What's his name?
I don't know.
Exactly.
You don't like that movie, do you?
It's Chirrut Imwe, but still, it's
Imwe?
Yeah, it's like this characters suck.
I mean, it was an okay movie. But
let's focus on the OT here.
I like to watch this movie as if it's the first time I've ever seen it.
1977.
Yeah, I try to do that a lot when I go back and watch this movie. I think this one is the most self-contained one. I know that seems kind of
definitely
obvious because the other ones are sequels and prequels, but this one is, you know, I could probably watch this one and never see another one again, I guess. Like the story of Star Wars could have been just fine if this was all we got.
Do you think it would be as big? Do you think it'd be as big as it is if this was it?
Well, I mean, it was a pretty big thing when it came out. I think because how big it was.
I know, but would it still be big?
Like, would it resonate now in the 21st century and on?
Yeah, if this was it.
I mean, no. I don't think it'd be as big. It would definitely...
Is that the only time we ever see them use a stun mode?
I think you're right, yeah.
Is it... That's like...
I think they might have said before, like, you know, set to stun or set to kill, but I don't think you've ever seen it. Wait.
Well, no, that's Star Trek.
Or... Well, I mean, they kind of say it right there where they say,
yeah.
You know, she'll be all right, or whatever. I don't know. But I think the prequels might have had a stun thing going on. I don't know.
I like this coming up right here. This.
Yeah, like such a plot. Like, wow. Well, this could have changed everything, but for the purpose of the plot, don't shoot it.
It's like it says there's no life forms, but let's just be safe.
I've heard a criticism where it's like, what is there, like a shortage on ammunition for the Empire? Like they have to conserve it to, you know, life forms only. It's very strange watching this and seeing her accent morph, Leia's accent, where she goes, I thought I smelled your foul stench.
Smelled your foul stench when you
walked on board or whatever.
And then board.
Later on, it's just, good luck.
But even in this one, it's like Dantooine. The rebel base is on Dantooine. It's like...
I want to say Disney came out with something that explained this away. The accent differences.
It's in a book because, you know, you're not allowed to enjoy the movies unless you read the books now.
Yeah. That's how it was for Rise of Skywalker, which is a fairly new thing where...
Oh, it's been like that all the Disney stuff. All 5 Disney movies have been like that.
Yeah.
It's like, well, if you want more backstory and lore, you got to read the books. It's like, if you really want to understand the movies, you have to read the books.
You missed a crucial and integral part. You forgot to read that comic. That was issue number 28 out of a series of 100. I don't know. You know that skeleton thing in the background that's coming up?
Yeah, the basilisk.
Is that
No,
Oh.
it's not basilisk.
No. What is that creature supposed to be?
I don't know. It looks very serpent-like, though.
Is it supposed to be a crate dragon?
This isn't Crate, though. I mean,
No, like I think there's a creature on Tatooine called Crate Dragon. I think. I don't know.
it could be. How come the escape pods don't like land? How come they crash?
You think it would cause for a lot of deaths? I think Anthony Davis. Wow, I just brought in some basketball, but Anthony Daniels. I want to say it was either George Lucas or somebody else, like an executive producer or something, that didn't like his performance as C-3PO, and they wanted to change it. I could be wrong about that, but Star Wars is a giant amalgamation of things that it's like, well, this almost happened, but we got this instead. You know, that's what, especially this movie. This movie is so much that. Well, I guess they're all kind of that way, but
originally it was going to be a different voice, so he was just doing the body, but then he started to like actually properly act it, and George was like, yeah, I think this could work.
yeah, we'll leave that down. No, I think you're right though. I think maybe he didn't like originally his voice, so he's like, okay, we'll just part of
This
pouched.
is one of my This is one of my favorite pieces of music in Star Wars. Is this?
It's good. Yeah, that thing. It's just the basilisk, I guess.
It's Fank and Destroy a Horcrux.
I kind of like the. I think one reason why I like Tatooine so much is because it has so many of those things like between cantinas and farming. It's a very everyday life sort of thing. In the prequels, you got what?
What?
Oh, you made a face. I don't know.
Oh no.
And then you have like Jawas, like they're basically like just junk dealers. It's kind of an interesting planet.
Got people like Wada who are blatant stereotypes of the Jewish people.
Yeah, the Jewish community.
All this color was changed in the special edition. I don't know about that, but especially when they first showed this canyon, it's like the lighting is different. That changed that in '97.
I know there's a rock, a CGI rock.
Yeah.
Well,
that's
put in.
That's not yet. That's when Luke gets attacked by the Tusken Raiders.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah.
And Ben comes out. That's where that is. Why does his central leg go in there?
What do you mean, like by getting
Yeah,
shot? It just like shot up. You mean?
Yeah, how come like it didn't just shut everything down? I mean, I know why. It's like they want him to fall over like that, but I'm just thinking from a logistics. What's up? Just short circuited? Wouldn't it be just everything just stops?
You have to shelf logistics when it comes to these movies.
It's a space fantasy.
Do you think this one's the most different, maybe, of all of them, or no?
Yes.
It definitely
This is up
feels-
there. It's between this or Jedi.
That feels the most different.
Yeah. Or have the most changes to them, at least. It's different. It's this or Jedi.
I mean, in terms of like the story,
Wait, what do you
not
mean?
changes, but just overall, this movie feels the most different and distinct of all. of them.
Oh! I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you said. Also, this is kind of stands on its own because like this movie very easily could have just failed and this was it.
Yeah, freaking. I think my neighbor's using a weed eater right now.
Gonk. Gonk.
I like how it has
Let's
a
just
lot
put
of 70s looks to it. That's more
Probably
into
because the 70s.
haircuts. Yeah. Well, I mean, duh. But I'm just saying the haircuts. Every it seems like every decade that produces science fiction, it's almost like they inevitably bring in something that makes it very much time stamped. Whether it be,
See how it looks like? It looks like R2's just walking there. He's like,
what do you mean? Oh,
he doesn't look
yeah.
like he's just driving. He looks like he's actually going like.
I like that
Look
face
at
you're
him.
making. Yeah, that's funny.
C-3PO.
I think we were talking about
Sandcraw's
before
pretty cool.
how like every droid or non-English speaking character, you always have to repeat.
Oh, there's
their
some
lines.
changes. There's a drop ship, the dewbacks. Look how goofy even the sand trooper on top of the dewback looks.
Yeah, this is rough. It's more rough than I remember, honestly. It's been a little while since I've seen this.
We're not even to the bad part yet. See, that one back there, like, those aren't bad, but I think that one back there was originally there.
What do you mean?
Those last they just showed.
Yeah.
Oh, my dad thinks this is the set that
He was
was
playing on. You might want to run people down for that are new. Give a rundown for that.
My dad was born in the early 70s, so he was like the ripe old age for this. Someone in his neighborhood worked on the practical model sets. So like anytime you see like a model of like the Death Star or Tatooine, you see like the big ships like the Sandcrawler just going over that hill. He was responsible for that, and so the neighbor had them in his garage and allowed the kids to go bring all their Star Wars toys and go play on it. And my dad was the only person there with the Millennium Falcon, and so, you know, it was sort of important for him to be there because, you know, he had the Falcon. So, and he said he's pretty sure it was that.
It's such a
that
lucky
shot.
piece of childhood right there. Like, what are the odds that one, you have a Millennium Falcon, and that two, your neighbor does stuff for the movies? Like, what?
I always really like these droids because I feel like we've never really seen anything. That's actually an R unit. That's an R1. That big, tall, black thing.
Is
But,
that canon, or is that more?
It's more of what people have said, but it's pretty well acknowledged that that's an R1
Here's a
unit.
whiny Luke. What is Bashi?
It's a language. It's like a binary language, isn't it?
For yes, the binary language, I guess, for moisture
Moisture evaporators.
Yeah.
I really need a droid who understands the binary language of moisture evaporators.
Such humble beginnings for Luke.
This is one of my very favorite scenes in all Star Wars.
Shut up. C-3PO kind of reminds me of Sheldon from Big Bang Theory a little bit.
Look at those wires going back down. And what do you think that is? You think that was purposely there? Because you usually don't. You can't see them now, but you can kind of see them.
I like Robot Chicken's take on some of these moments.
Introducing the power
Especially-
converters.
Yeah. And the this R2 unit has a bad motivator, and it shows the this R2 unit, I guess, the one that blows up. He's like sitting on the couch with the remote, and he's like, "Oh, I don't really feel like it. I'll do it tomorrow." He's like flipping through channels.
Okay.
I think there's a mistake coming
Luke,
up.
actually, that's an R5 unit.
God dang it,
Luke is an idiot. That's an R5 unit. That's not an R2 unit.
You actually, I think you get to see that same droid that just blew up.
Right there, right
Yeah.
there. Yeah.
It's like,
Okay, so R2 didn't cause that bad motivator, right? It just happened to work out in R2's favor.
I think I've seen something where it suggests that it was R2's thing. Like R2 did it on purpose to join. Either that or the Force. Which we've definitely said that before, where a lot of questions in these movies. It's like, well, how did this happen? Oh yeah, the Force.
The Force. I like seeing Luke play around with a toy, just like
Like a little kid, yeah. Like, what are you doing, Luke? Isn't he supposed to be 19 right now?
something like that.
Freaking. Was that a T-16 Skyhopper?
Yes, it is. Hello.
A lot of carbon scoring.
What is that?
I don't know.
What is carbon scoring?
I don't know. A lot of science fiction stories, they have these somewhat familiar, somewhat scientific names that they put in there. So you're like, oh, that sounds legit. That's part of the lore.
It's like, oh, you got a nitrogen burn there. Well, I guess that's real, but
Yeah.
I never saw. Why does he fall back like that?
Maybe it scared him, like it's 3D, you know? He's like, oh. And it just popped up at him.
What the hell is that?
Like Jaws 19 and Back to the Future 2.
Shark still looks fake.
Was it Jaws 19? I think it was Jaws 19.
Yes, directed by Max Spielberg.
Like, this right here is what makes me say George Lucas did not have this all planned out. Why would you even remotely put that? She's beautiful. It's sick. If you know what's going to happen in the end, that's sick.
Yeah, well, it's like, okay, there's nothing wrong with saying, like, your sibling is like, oh, it's like, yes, it's like, oh, yes, you look beautiful, but then him just going like,
Yeah, he's mesmerized.
Just like
he's got the hots
yeah,
for his sister.
it's like, yeah, no,
She's
they
beautiful.
didn't have it thought. They didn't have it thought out at all, and we see it even further in episode 5.
Yeah, exactly.
She kisses him, and he's like, it's like,
Yeah, whatever the hell that was. Or heck, I'm sorry. Let's keep it cussing to a minimum, unless it's gonna be a lot of editing for me.
it's not that big a deal. I mean, it's said in Star Wars. If it's said in Star Wars, we're allowed to say it.
Okay. I think it's a good rule of thumb. Is that some inhibitor? Inhibitor, I guess.
It's a restraining bolt.
And that was from the Jawas? Or no, was that from...
Yes,
that was
he's-
from...
It's from the Jawas. C-3PO has one on his chest right now, too. You can see it.
I thought... I thought Owen and Brew might have still had it on there, like for the purposes of keeping them under control.
No, they showed the Jawas put it on him in the Sandcrawler, on R2.
I really wish they would have had some kind of droid liberation scene in this movie.
That's definitely what's missing. Hopefully, that's what someone was saying during this, and it's like, man, I hope in 4 decades we get that. And their wish came true.
I like how he's referred to as a wizard. that Obi-Wan is referred to as a wizard.
Mm-hmm. Blue milk. I had
What is blue milk? What actually is it? I know we just call it blue milk, but what is it actually?
Well, at Galaxy's Edge in Disney World, Disneyland, they sell blue milk, and technically, Galaxy's Edge, the story there is canon. So, I've had blue milk. I can tell you what it is. Technically, it's the canonized version. It's basically just this sweet, berry-flavored ice drink.
Is it actually good?
It's pretty good, yeah. And they also have green milk, which is what Luke drinks in on Ahch-To from in Last Jedi.
What do you think it is on set? Just like food coloring and water?
Something like that. But canonically, it's like a sweet. It's a frozen. It's sort of like a slushy, but it's basically like a slushy.
He's got too much of his father in him. Why would she say that? If the prequels happened,
Yeah. He's got too much of father in him.
You know that guy that killed that band of Tusken Raiders? He's got too much of his father in him. It's like, why would you say that? I know I'm kind of just kidding, but
Yeah.
Well, the only thing that she knew of Anakin was that.
Yeah,
I mean, that was almost like her reminiscing on that's old Annie back in the day.
It's like he comes back. It's like, you did what?
You killed the women, the children, and men? Luke.
What is that ship speeder thing right there?
Is that a Mercedes-Benz logo?
It's got a hood ornament.
It's a very 70s science fiction ship-looking thing. Or even almost 60s.
Yeah, it's a little, yeah.
It's technology like that makes me kind of criticize George and think, when you see that, like that viewpoint of that technology that's supposed to be future, or the future, in accordance with the prequels, when you watch the prequels, none of the technology is like that. It's all just super clean, 4K almost, I wish they would have done put some effort towards making this feel this was before.
Well, okay, maybe because like in the time of the Empire, stuff stopped advancing, stuff gets broken, you sort of have to repair it yourself. Nothing's like it was because of the Empire.
Yeah, I've thought that before.
So,
or I've told myself that and allowed myself to believe it.
I want to know what she's doing here. She's making like soup.
It's got to be soup. He said hell. Now this is pottery.
I guess C-3PO's driving because he says hit the accelerator.
Yeah, that's kind of strange. Yeah. Just C-3PO just... Is there like a speed limit?
PETA wouldn't be happy because... these are elephants, right? These are elephants. They're
just dressed up elephants?
Yeah.
It's animal abuse. I mean, nothing like Apocalypse Now, but,
Okay, that's technically not animal abuse because those are real native people actually performing what they would.
Well, the movie didn't. The crew didn't, but the natives, yeah.
Yeah, the crew was not involved with it because they were like, we're going to do this for Francis Ford Coppola, like to honor him. And
right.
Francis was like, let's get a camera out there.
There's sand people. Isn't the lore behind Sand People the Like they're just humans, tattooed humans underneath. I've heard that before.
I don't know.
I don't know if you've heard that. Is that the CGI rock? I'm pretty sure that's the CGI rock.
Yes. Yes, it is.
You know, he's almost laying like the Family Guy thing. If he was just turned over and his arm was,
Little.
you know, I'm talking about in Family Guy how they're all.
That noise has
Yeah.
been changed like 3 times.
The newest one is freaking trash. I mean, just awful. The 2011 one it's garbage. It's ridiculous. Like the 04 one, special edition, it's not bad. It's better than whatever the heck that was.
It says that this is what they look like under the mask.
Maybe that's a Legends thing I'm thinking of.
Oh,
don't know.
absolutely. It has to be.
I love how Obi-Wan has. So it's been what, like 19 years after Revenge of the Sith, at this point.
And Ewan McGregor turns into Alec Guinness.
Yeah, just like firstly, yeah, just like that physical appearance, and yet his memory is like he doesn't recognize R2. You know. Well, I guess he's technically not lying from a certain point of view. R2 was never technically the property of Obi-Wan.
No, he was the property of Captain Antilles.
I mean, 20 years ago. I mean, he's acting like it's freaking. I don't know.
40 years.
Yeah. I mean, granted, that is a long time. I mean, 20 years ago, I was 2 years old. 1.5.
Less.
And, you know, when I look back on those moments, you know, it's a little blurry, but still.
I haven't drank from a bottle in a long time.
Yeah, and I've heard that they kind of made up Alec Guinness. I think I talked about this in the episode 3 commentary where, you know, Alec Guinness was like, his appearance was made up with makeup to make him look older than what he was. And I believe Alec Guinness was around 60.
Yeah, Alec Guinness died. Alec Guinness died in like the late 90s or I think no, it was early 2000s. It was like 2001 or 2.
It's kind of crazy to think that Carrie Fisher, she's already gone. I know that's old news at this point, but you know.
So are Kenny Baker and Peter Mayhew.
Yeah. It's gonna be rough whenever Harrison and Mark Hamill dies, or whenever they die.
Oh, here's another continuity error when you see the coat go away hanging on the wall.
Clone Wars. I'm always curious to know what people thought the Clone Wars was. You know, at this movie.
It's like, yeah, what does that even mean? The Clone Wars.
It seems like another one of those offhand, like carbon, whatever that was we said earlier. Carbon surfacing, or I can't remember, but
Carbon scoring.
yeah, it might have been something like that, where it's like the Clone Wars, and George is like, well, yeah, it's part of the
It's
history.
a bunch of clones that fought.
Yeah. He can't remember R2, but he's kept that lightsaber right there in his den, just ready to pull out.
Here we go. Here, you see the coat back there behind Luke?
Yeah.
Gone. It's like one of the most powerful weapons in the universe pointed directly at your face.
Yeah, doesn't he actually kind of do with that?
If he hands it to him and he goes,
I've seen the meme where it's like he's looking at it, and then the next frame is the lightsaber just through the back of his head. That look Obi-Wan just had was kind of PTSD, I guess. Music.
What's that stain on his sleeve right there? On his
Sorry, Folgers coffee. Decaf.
He's too old to be drinking regular. It's definitely decaf.
Yeah.
It's a great movie. It's so good.
What this movie?
It's so good.
I used to have a figurine. I want to say it was like R2D2, and it came with that table and that hologram.
I know the figure you're talking about. That's cool stuff. You think you can keep the people going while I go to the bathroom?
Yeah, I think so.
I'll be right back.
I've always noticed one thing about Ewan McGregor. The comparison between Ewan McGregor and Alec Guinness. It's a bit of a nitpick, and it's trivial. But Ewan McGregor has this little, it's like I don't even know what to call it, a cyst. And that's probably not even a right word for it. Or a wart. A little bump on his forehead, and Alec Guinness doesn't have it. It's a good chance that the 19 years in between episode 3 and episode 4, he had that cosmetically removed. Maybe he's a little self-conscious of it. I don't know. I know George Lucas, he based heavily, this story on the hero's journey. Joseph Campbell's The Hero's Journey. And right here's the classic. The hero refuses the call. So the old wizard, which is another trope, asks the protagonist, come join me on this quest. Come to Alderaan, be a Jedi. And of course, Luke, the protagonist, has to deny it, and then, of course, later on accept it. Very interesting. I'll have to ask Caleb when he gets back, but every original movie has the Death Star, if the Death Star is present in it, either the first or second. It has it up, like straight up. But Rogue One, there's a scene where it's upside down, and I don't even know, what the purpose of that is. Maybe he'll know. He seems like a kind of guy that would know that stuff. Tarkin, looks a little bit like my granddad. So 70s. Everything here is just 70s. The haircut. It's a great haircut. I really like that. With all this quarantine, I might have to cut my hair and model it after that. It's kind of cool seeing the relationship between Tarkin and Vader. I think some of the critics said that Darth Vader wasn't really not quite menacing villain, or wasn't enough of a villain in terms of to be feared and whatnot, because Tarkin he gave off the impression that he was over Vader, I guess. And because of that, people saw, or at least a group of people saw Tarkin as like the main enemy, or at least more so than Tarkin. Caleb,
Yeah.
you know how in Rogue One the Death Star is upside down, or the cannon, the laser cannon is upside down? Why is that? Because in these movies you don't ever see it like that. Do you know?
No, I don't even know what you're talking about.
Great. No. So in episode 4, the Death Star is turned up. It's like a bowling ball, and there's the circle in the middle, and it's on top.
Yes.
It's the same way in the half-constructed one in Return of the Jedi. But if you watch Rogue One, there's parts where you take the Death Star and it looks like that, where it's like floating upside down, and the cannon is on the bottom.
Is it?
Oh my god! I mean, wait, no, you've only seen that movie like once.
I've seen it more than once. No, I know what you're talking about. I understand the concept, but I'm saying, is it upside down in Rogue One?
Yeah, it looks that way, and that's what I'm trying to think is. Are there at least there's parts? I mean, maybe I'm wrong. No. Well, you can't really see it, but that's definitely upside down. That's the top. That's the bottom. So yeah, I don't know.
I
was
guess
just talking
maybe
about
it's like
the,
in orbit. That
yeah.
wouldn't make any sense.
I don't know. This part's pretty it's kind of brutal for a PG movie if you think about it. I mean, it just shows their...
I mean, PG-13 didn't exist.
Right, but, you know, it's kind of... Oh, gross.
And then it does this thing where he looks away and then looks again.
Yeah, I was just talking about Joseph Campbell's The Hero's Journey. A little bit. That's a good shot right there.
Yeah. Those TIE fighters, I think, they might have been added.
Princess Leia. Who is it that says Leia? I know there's a couple characters that say Leia. Who all is it?
Are there?
Yeah, there's more than a couple people that says Leia, I think.
There's the dentist droid.
I kind of have to go to the bet. It even has the little...
Why is that...
markings. Just a little tetanus shot. We have this done for everyone, and you know that's imprisoned on the Death Star. Rabies.
Why is that needle so short and close to it? It's like the needle's like right there. Because if it's an orb,
are they
like
they're burning Jawa bodies, right? So wouldn't that produce a horrendous smell to the point where Luke and Ben would be like, and just throw up and oh wait, the Force.
Why are they burning them?
Yeah, it's kind of like. Well, I guess it's
just
well, that's a kind of a thing in Star Wars. Like somebody dies,
burning them.
You know, whether it be Qui-Gon, Anakin in Episode 3. You know, a little indirectly there. Episode 4, Jawas. 6, Darth Vader. Yeah. I don't think anybody burned in 9 except for maybe the hut, Luke's hut. I'm gonna go to the bathroom. I'm sorry.
Okay.
It looks kind of cool though, the wide shot of the city, spaceport. I'll be right back.
This is where you see the most changes, and this is where this movie looks the most like crap. Useless. They just add all this junk. That thing, like, why? That ship right there, that was there originally, but I don't think it looked exactly like that. This is why is it covering up the whole thing in the foreground like that? But most of this is unchanged. That droid's added, but that's not a horrible change, I don't think. You missed it. You missed all the useless inclusions.
Oh, the CGI?
Yeah, you missed... Well, not all of it. There's still some left. There's some back there.
Yeah, it's... I don't know what George was thinking. I guess he just wanted to
I just wanted to fill the screen with crap.
It could have been to kind of fill in that continuity there. You know, I was talking about earlier how some things in the prequels feel so.
Well, they say like a wretched skive of scum and villainy. It looks like a regular small little desert town. You know, does it look like? I think that dewback was added also.
Wasn't
I always like that. I like that ship to the right there. It looks very 2001-y.
There's a testicle head.
I wish the creature still looked like this and not
This
so
wasn't in the original.
animatronic.
That,
What?
That guy vaping, that wasn't in the original, I don't think. This one is definitely... Like, as the movies progressed, there was a little bit more familiar creatures. This one is just like, throw costume A and B and C and this guy that looks like a wolf, and then this, you know...
Well, it's like... Well, no, like, if you watch like, the new stuff...
Same thing.
Especially when you're, like, at, like, a resistance base... There's just like, what is that? What is that? It's like all these creatures we've never seen before.
And that's what I was going to say is I think Force Awakens especially was trying to replicate that. Of just, it's a huge universe and there's so much. And I feel like in the sequel trilogy there was no Twi'leks or Rodians ever. I feel like we never saw a single one.
There's Rodians in the sequel trilogy.
Where? Maybe you can glimpse and see them.
Greedo?
I said sequel.
Oh.
The sequel trilogy just feels like you're going in with all this lore and you're basically doing right what they were doing right now. Just throw in this looks cool, that looks cool, interesting. But
he doesn't like you.
What's wrong with his face?
This guy's apparently a doctor, like in like the legends and all that. He's
a doctor.
He's like some, yeah.
He's got a cameo in Rogue One.
Like that. Just, I'll be careful.
Yeah, that's not a bad response. And then
I'll be careful. I've got the Death Thorn on 12.
It's almost like a Han Solo response.
I'll be careful.
Ah, the blood.
Like, everyone's just like...
They're used to it, man.
It's just like...
It's the same thing Obi-Wan did in the Coruscant Underworld. Except in an old man's way.
You want to buy some death sticks?
I think I like Attack of the Clones better than this movie.
Yeah. I had an action figure set. It was all 5 of them.
I remember having them. Or having at least one Biff. Good old Harrison Ford.
Okay, so we're taking requests now. What does everyone want to hear? Play that same song. Same song? Okay, here we go.
Oh, the Robot Chicken.
No, that's Family Guy. They finished playing. It's like, okay, what do you guys want to hear now? Play that same song. Same song. Okay, here we go.
What's that one guy's name? He played in Batman Returns. Gray hair. He was almost cast for Han Solo. Why'd you just burp it? You could have pulled away, you know. But what's his name? Gray hair. Christopher Walken. I think he was considered, I don't know how strongly, for this role of Han Solo.
I'm captain of the Millennium Falcon.
probably would have been terrible. There really is so much about this whole franchise where it's like if things had just been just a little different, could have ruined everything.
So where do they have the 2,000 credits from?
I think they were thinking, I guess.
Because it's 2,000 now, 15 when they get to Alderaan.
I think they sell the speeder, if I'm pretty sure. I think they haven't paid him yet, so they sell the speeder.
Yeah, you're right.
And all of Aunt Beru's expensive clothing collection.
Yeah, you'll have to sell your speeder.
He's like, Luke just sold all of the Aunt Beru's items, all her jewelry that didn't burn in the fire. He's desperate. I'm not a huge fan of the next part with Jabba because they say the dialogue is very, 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 very similar. And there's even that part where Han goes, "You're a wonderful human being." It's like, why would he say that to a freaking Hutt? Oh, this is so... I really want to know why.
Hey, what?
It's already like that.
There's no need.
It's
for
so
it.
crazy
It's
that they went and
completely
did that.
Pointless.
It is so insane that they went and did that because that scene is already hated so much. I mean, the statement Han shot first.
I can't hear you anymore. I can't hear you.
You can't hear me? What do you mean?
Oh, never mind. I got it. I pulled my headphones out a little bit.
Oh, but I was saying like the statement that Han shot first. I mean, that's been on T-shirts. I'm sure there's a website that was started.
That's been
because
around
of-
since '97.
That's what I'm saying. And because of that scene and how hated it is since '97, it's like, why would they go in and touch up even more on it? It seems such tricky territory. Like, why would you even try to do that? You know, it's like putting gas on a fire.
What'd he say?
What?
Watch your language.
Yeah, the classic. You have to repeat everything the droid or the non-English speaker says.
Like, what? There's Greedo, even though it just got shot.
That's not even the only time afterwards you see it. I think there's two more when
right
he says
there.
Jabba. I always thought that thing was an anteater. Ooh, that Greedo has some sick shoes, man. On the left.
It's like
I get that there could
it's
be
like the
multiple.
shoes that.
What?
Well, obviously there's multiple. There's two of them right
Well,
there.
Listen, I was about to say that. Like, I get that there could be multiple Rhodians, but why the same costume? Why the same outfit? Yeah, I wish he would have just left this in deleted scenes.
Just let it be.
Because that's what was kind of nice about the slow reveal of it all. You know, the reveal of Jabba is that you hear about this Jabba character the entire time. You know, Han owes him money, and then in Return of the Jedi, you're like, oh, that's what he owed money to, is that thing.
Yeah.
And so this just kind of kills it. I'm pretty sure a lot of the dialogue is the same. You're a wonderful human being.
There he goes.
I guess that's just an expression. What do words mean anyway? Always. What is this guy's connection? This little
He's a
anteater.
spy.
But is it for the Empire or is it just like a third party thing?
I think it's Empire. What does that even make? What does that even mean? She'll make 0.5 past light speed.
She'll make it 0.5 past light speed? Wait, so does that mean the Falcon can fly faster than the speed of light?
Faster than the speed of light?
Those extras in the background looked a little Star Trek-y.
A little bit, yeah.
I love how his language is wow, wow. There's a classic.
He's got a real loose grip there. He's just like,
yeah. Firing away. Ben, he's moving pretty good for an old guy. I mean, technically, canonically, he's only like 50 something. I'm guessing canon explains it as PTSD. I could even see them going as far as to say that he slowly aged himself faster, or that he aged himself faster to help disguise himself with the Force.
it's possible.
I think I had a Power of the Force action figure that had the gloves with Han Solo and the headgear. It's like, great kid, don't get excited. That's a little later on though, but still.
I like how he has the gloves on, like the flight gloves.
Yeah, I was just talking about that. You
Yeah.
think those were like gardener's gloves? And George was like,
No, because they have like things on the back that are like cut out right here.
yeah.
Now he's not wearing the gloves.
Like George had those just sitting in his garage. He's like, Harrison, catch. Put these on.
Yeah, we need a pair of gloves. We need a pair of gloves.
Here's the accent coming up again. Governor Tarkin.
Brought on board.
I guess he can be both. It's a little creepy.
Leia. There he just said.
So he's one. Lando doesn't say it like that, does he?
Leia. That's how he says it.
What have we here? I know he says
My,
hand.
what have we here?
I just thought of something.
The accent's gone.
Yeah.
Dantooine.
It's pretty crazy how in this movie you go from this slow moving turd of a Death Star that takes 24 hours to boot up and to charge and then fire, and then it takes 24 more hours to fire again, and then in Starkiller Base it's just like 8 laser beams destroying. Yeah. And it's 4 times this. Actually, no, it's not even. It's the size of a planet. It's literally a planet. So
It's not even. Yeah, this is like the size of a. This is smaller than a moon.
that's
Because
no
think
moon.
how small it looks. Think about how small it looks on Endor.
Yeah, but that could be kind of that may not even be accurate to, you know. He's like, oh.
So here's another question: Is like, did Obi-Wan, did Ben bring that, or did Han have that?
Yeah. Because that's the same. If it is just something on Han's ship, it's the same thing they use in Attack of the Clones when they train Jedis. Same thing.
Well, obviously it stays on there because it's in Force Awakens.
Maybe it's one of those situations where Han had it, didn't know what it was, and it just so happened that it was the Jedi training device. It's kind of cool. You see some, familiar creatures, or at least looking back, having seen the original movies, you see a Rancor, or what looks like a Rancor. What's the game called? Sabacc?
I know it's a Dejarik board. Or no, so isn't that the game that he plays Lando for the Falcon?
Yes, I think Sabacc is what he plays Lando for.
Yeah, that's yeah. And then I don't know what the actual game is called. I know that's a Dejarik board.
Wait. Why hasn't Ben say anything about midichlorians?
I don't know. I mean, it's not important right now.
He's like, well, look, you see, if I did a blood sample. I mean, that's again, what doesn't make sense too. Is like Han. You're telling me that 19 years after Revenge of the Sith happened, with everything being what it was then, when that movie took place, the Jedi, the Republic, that relationship, how known they were freaking generals in the army, or for the Republic. He doesn't believe in the Force. He was alive during that. I mean, he'd be young.
Yeah, he was like 10.
Yeah, it's kind of strange.
He was like, I think he was supposed to be like 10 at the during like episode 3.
And as well, it's like, you're telling me no one in your travels has had any Force ability at all?
Well, they killed off almost everyone, and then the ones that didn't went into hiding.
Well, yeah, but there's still people that, like, even in the prequels, you go and you find kids that are Force sensitive, and then you bring them to the Jedi Temple. It's not like it's only a family thing.
It's actually it's a recessive trait.
Yeah, it's kind of like
it's just genes.
It's like in Harry Potter. You can have two Muggles that produce a wizard or a witch.
Hermione.
Yeah. Wouldn't that suck if, like, the sequel trilogy, it was like Luke married the canon equivalent of Mara Jade, and then they had, like, what would be a squib in Harry Potter? Yeah. Like, Luke's son is like, I don't have the Force. Like, that's how they upset fans. Instead of making Luke a grumpy old man, they just like, well, his son doesn't have the Force. How far away I guess they're already technically where Alderaan should be.
Yeah. Yeah, shouldn't they be like, where the heck is Alderaan?
Yeah. That's what I'm thinking. Yeah, they say a fighter can't make it out this far on its own, but I'm like, yes, it can. You know,
Well, I mean, I guess a TIE fighter can't jump to light speed.
maybe not a TIE
well,
fighter,
also,
but
well, also, wouldn't they assume since Alderaan's right? Well, if Alderaan was basically where they are now, wouldn't it be able to have come from Alderaan?
yeah, and the Death Star. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking
There
you
was one
have, X-wings going. You have the Jedi Starfighters.
Yeah.
I mean, they had like that hyper
There-
space ring or whatever the heck that was.
Well, can an X-wing
Yeah,
go to light speed?
yeah. That's how. I think that's how Luke goes to Dagobah.
Yeah. There's one time we were driving somewhere, and we were on the highway or whatever, and through the trees, my dad saw a light. He goes, "Oh, look at the moon." I said, "I said that's no moon. That's a Shell sign because it was a gas station sign. He thought it was the moon.
I'm sure that
That's
was
no moon."
You guys probably laughed for a while after that.
Yes, it was just timed well.
I
That's
feel like
no
that's definitely one of those
moon.
moments where you had to be there,
Yeah,
for it to really resonate.
that's no.
Wait, they've got those stormtroopers have something on their back.
Yeah, they're oxygen tanks.
Is that one thing we see on the screen that there's not a figure of?
No, they make them.
Oh, really?
I have one.
That's literally a thing. I mean, mouse droid figure.
Here's the DVD menu.
Like almost every single thing you see, there's either a set, a figure, or something.
It's no, they do make the oxygen tank stormtrooper. I have one. So that little tiny elevator right there. You see how it's not even the whole thing?
Yeah. Seems a little dangerous.
Just
There's no
yeah,
rails.
it's like, you're telling me there's no handrail? Can we get a handrail? That's what they say about the guys who stand right where the laser comes out.
Can we get a handrail? Is that in Family Guy when they say that or no?
I think so.
Can we get a handrail?
I know they make a figure of the scanning crew because they have it. They make those. They came with the crate that they go up there with that like box thing.
I think this is the only movie where you can see, if a light is shown somewhat on Vader's face, you can see his eyes a little bit. I think Rebels kind of modeled their depiction of Vader after that, kind of the reddish eyes, because in this movie a lot of times you almost see that it's like this kind of redness to his eyes.
Yeah, they make figures of these guys
I think I might actually have one of those.
because they came with that box.
I might have got a set of that when I was a kid. That came with that.
The scanning crew.
Yeah.
See, why they feel the need to take the top off before they walk in there? Why can't they just go in there with the top on?
Wouldn't it be easier just to take their uniforms? Well, I guess they wouldn't be able to have the clearance to get around more of the Death Star.
Yeah. Also, it would be like,
And also, they just
wait a
straight
minute,
up
no, you're not.
murder these guys cold blood. Like, just
They just killed 4 people.
yeah. Wait, so hold on. They just killed 4 people. What do they do with the bodies? Like, because they obviously leave
I guess
later. They can't get rid of the
I
bodies
guess-
here. They leave in a hurry. So those bodies technically should still be on that ship when they leave.
Yeah, I guess they leave them in the smuggler.
No, I bet what happened
Compartment?
is like they get in the ship in a hurry. They're in space. Han remembers, and so he gets Chewie just to like shoot him out into space. Which,
Chewbacca eats them.
like within the crime world of Star Wars or just in space in general, it's a great way to dispose a body. Just fling him out in space. Like if you were a serial killer in Star Wars.
Just throw them out in space.
Yeah. C-3PO's he's really dirty in this part.
Yeah, he's filthy. I mean, I guess it would make sense. I mean, no. Do you think Captain Antilles cleaned him, like, and took care of him like that?
Probably. This is what I was meaning earlier about how
be patient, Luke.
Science fiction movies, they almost inevitably put in some kind of technology of the movie or what they think the future is going to be like that timestamps the movie. Like all those controls back there of what a computer is, that's it. Like if you look at all the controls, it's like, yep, that's definitely not how computers will.
Those doors shut very fast.
Yeah, it's not like a grocery store, like a slow shut.
Well, imagine getting stuck under one, just like.
Yeah, cut your head off.
Well, this is what he's saying.
If you really think about it, this movie is kind of bizarre. Like, just if you were to spell it out and be very general about things.
Well, if you were to describe the plot, it'd be, you're talking about Akira Kurosawa's The Hidden Fortress, aren't you?
Yeah.
It's the exact same plot.
What are you talking about?
They put that armor on very quickly.
Yeah, and it seems like they did an exceptional job knowing nothing about how to put on stormtrooper stuff. But they're going to kill her.
I love that logic. Better her than me. She's rich.
Sometimes when you look at Harrison Ford young, I kind of get like, I could see maybe him having a son and it looking like Adam Driver. Maybe,
Yeah.
Like it's kind of believable a little bit. I like the little, like, whatever that was in Chewie's mouth.
See, if he kind of trusted Luke a little bit, right? Chewbacca, to an extent, you think?
Yeah.
And so how come it's like he gets like just pissed off when he's like, how come he like just gets like angry when he puts the cuffs on him? But Han, it's like, oh, okay.
You know how we talked about what E.T. is like compared to his fellow species?
Yes.
I mean, we get a little bit of an answer for that for Chewie in Revenge of the Sith.
The holiday special.
Well, yeah. No, but
there's the black C-3PO, or no, that's a black Death Star droid. It's the exact same thing, just painted black. Waiting for the elevator.
It's kind of crazy to think too that they used like one of the things they got out of the Empire's grasp, I guess, was a trash compactor. It's a very real world thing,
Like, where's the bathroom?
Exactly. Like once you put that in there, it's like,
what are they doing to produce that much trash?
What's a planet size or a moon size space station or a
like what else are they doing there?
What does a cafeteria look like?
Yeah.
The workers there are just plopping down stuff on
Yeah,
trays.
it looks like it's like all we ever see is they can hold ships. They have a prison. They have a trash compactor, and they have like an office room. But that's it.
Like the sleeping quarters. I wonder what that's like.
I guess they would have to sleep there.
I love how he's like, he's loose. Hands him the rifle.
Do they not have like security cameras?
Well, they're
Oh,
shooting
just
him out.
shot him. Yeah.
This movie is definitely the most. Sometimes
Action packed.
Well, not necessarily that. It just feels like a big. I don't know. It's the most adventurous for me, I think. I think that's because it's
Also,
very,
this one-
very focused. It's like we're gonna go to the Death
in
Star.
this one, there's a clear beginning, middle,
Yeah.
end in this one, which you don't really get in the other, and really any of them.
Obviously there's a MacGuffin. There's a reason for them doing anything. And Attack of the Clones is like, I don't know what could be next. Oh, Obi-Wan gets a message from, or Anakin gets a message from Obi-Wan or whatever on Tatooine after killing the Tusken Raiders, and now he's gonna go to Geonosis to save him. This one, it's like, it's pretty focused.
This is really one of those like, again, like of like the 7 stories. This is the quest. This is what this
Oh,
movie is. It's like
yeah.
it's
Empire
it's not
is kind
rebirth.
of, it's kind of loose, It's kind of anything could happen. All that you have is Luke is trying to get is going to be trained by Yoda. That's his storyline. Han and Leia, I guess, or what are they supposed to
is
be?
it. Theirs is just escaping
And wandering, I guess. I don't know.
So I guess because I have it written down here, the 7's overcome the monster. It's not that. Rags to riches. It's not that. The quest. I wouldn't
for
say
Empire?
Empire. No, I wouldn't say that doesn't fit Empire. No. Voyage and return.
That's no. I don't think I'd say that.
What?
I mean, it's kind of a voyage. 'Cause, I mean,
Yeah. Confusion that must resolve.
I don't know. Let's focus on.
I guess it could be that because, like, talking about Empire.
Sorry. Look at that brilliant stormtrooper aim. I'm so glad in The Mandalorian they did that scene where they're like,
Yes.
and they're just missing for. I think that was good. That was very meta.
That's
It
great.
was nice.
I always like those little communicators they have. Galaxy's Edge actually sold them. They were Bluetooth. There's a Bluetooth speaker with a microphone built in, and they were cool. They were expensive though, but they were cool. This is where we see the where does that hallway go to?
I don't know because there's definitely an end. It's probably another mirrored image of what's on the first side. It's probably just another entrance to the prison hallway.
Maybe. But then wouldn't they be coming in from the other side then? Also?
Yeah. I don't know what to tell you.
It's cool though, that the whole hexagon shape.
You know in the Lego game where Han throws a bone down the chute?
Yeah.
What's kind of weird about this part is like Han jumps down there pretty much immediately after everyone, and they're acting as if they've been down there for a good 5 minutes. Like Luke or
How convenient. It's all foam.
yeah, like Han tries to shoot the doors, and Luke's like, "I've already tried it already." It's like, when did you have time? When did you have time to shoot it? Like like I think 2 seconds at most went by. Yeah, like right here. Watch. How like
Maybe he jumps down there, and the second he lands, he's like,
and it's like headshots Leia. Oh crap. That was the only thing we came here for. All right.
So, do you think they knew they were down there, and that's why they decided to close the trash compactor, or it's just like on a timer?
You would think there'd be some kind of sensor in this kind of world would be like, oh, something has entered, unknown whatever entered the trash compactor, so they turn it on, but I'm sure it's just,
Now, why is this creature? Why is that in there? And how did it get that deep?
I mean, this is a very small container. Like, yeah, how did it?
Well, it's like obviously
is it an ecosystem down there.
it definitely raises some questions. Like, also, when it compacts, wouldn't the creature be crushed also, or is there like a sub area underneath the walls?
This is what I'm confused about too. Is like this water is knee high, and like they're acting right now that Luke just got pulled down to like 20 feet, and he's just trying to scramble back to the top. Maybe there's a part that just dips. But seriously, it's like knee high. It's not even knee high.
Why is there liquid in there?
It's trash juice.
It's
probably urine.
Dookie.
Grinded up feces. Oh.
Ugh.
It's great conditioner for Luke's hair.
Well, Chewbacca did say it smelled bad in there. Actually, one of those, the thing that Han picks up here, you can actually see one of those in The Mandalorian at one point. That thing right there.
How does the trash get out of the compactor? I know we're asking a lot of questions. I know it's... But if you think about it, it crushes and then it opens back up. I mean, does it just dump out eventually? If that makes sense? Or does it just keep crushing and crushing and crushing?
Eventually, there's the head hit. And I like how they add the sound too. They added the sound in the special edition, or at some point. It might have been the... It might have been the Blu-ray cut where they added the sound like the dong.
Yeah, I don't think it might have been 04 edition that they had it. I don't remember, but
yeah.
I feel like, aren't they looking for these droids? Like, don't they have a description of these droids?
Yeah.
And they're looking for them.
Don't you think this would have already been shut by now? In all that time?
Yeah. We're starting to go down that territory of just hating on the movie. We're not hating on it, no. We're just asking questions, I know. But we're being a little bit too questionable. Which is not allowed for the original movies.
No.
You have to shut up and enjoy it. So... Pretty much all problems can be solved through a R2D to hack in the the
Yeah,
interweb.
every single thing. Is everything connect? How the whole Death Star? Couldn't they shut down the Death Star that way? Just
Yeah, wait, hold on a second. Couldn't R2D2 hack into it and just like self-destruct and just dip out of there?
it's okay, guys. We got 1 hour.
Yeah, or less than that. I mean, if he can get in and shut down the trash compactor, could he not just fire the laser and maybe if there's something to where he could self-destruct, he just starts firing it.
You know, obviously, Jyn Erso's dad puts in that function. It got like he's the reason why there's the little hole on top.
Yeah, that's what they say.
But would there be some Could there be some connection to it through that thing? I don't know. No one sees Obi-Wan. He's just walking down the hall, just like.
There's like a file. When you're trying to hack into Death Star, it says self-destruct, and it's that
convenient.
When you click on the file, it's just that. What is it, Rick rolled or whatever?
Yeah.
The Emperor had that placed in.
It's Dennis Nedry from Jurassic Park going, Rawr.
Some of those lines, yeah. What did that say originally? Because I know the original movie had English title or text for things.
I think it said tractor beam.
That makes sense.
It's a perfectly good couch.
I love how he just fires in there. They're trying to be discreet. But yeah, just fire on in. Does it look like Han Solo's shirt is suddenly yellowish?
It's been like that.
I mean, it's the 70s.
It's never white.
He probably wears
Yeah.
that shirt every day and he smokes cigarettes. So he's got an ashtray
Why
on
did
the
they-
Millennium Falcon's.
Why did they feel a need to take off the Stormtrooper armor?
Well, yeah, if you think about it, it would help them, wouldn't it? Or like, it wouldn't not help them to have that on. They could be escorting the princess.
The only thing I could think would be it got dirty in the trash compactor, and so it's like, oh, clearly we were the people who were in there. Because they knew they were wearing armor because they were shooting at them at the detention block.
Right.
That's the
And
only
I guess
thing
they could think of it as we know that they could go inside there and find the bodies, I guess. Wow, she just boosted his confidence.
in the Falcon.
You're braver than I thought. Han's like, I know.
Like that, it's like just because they kill one of them, it's like run away. It's
Yeah, and then Han.
just, oh man, he has a gun. Oh, that's too. They added all these guys. There's a lot more than there originally were.
I always think it's funny in movies. Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. But in movies where you've got to have some battle cry, It's like,
There's that loose grip again.
yeah.
Han has a really loose grip. He's just like,
Oh man. What if he would have fell?
there's those fast doors again. Imagine if your foot is just not all the way through the door.
Cut your big toe off and a portion of your middle toe.
It's just like, what is the point of this just like bottomless pit? And why is there a
Seems
bridge?
like
Or why is it not just a hallway?
A safety hazard.
There's a lot of safety. OSHA would not be happy with the Death Star. This is where we get the
Wonder how many
Wilhelm scream.
lawsuits the Emperor's had.
There it is.
Wilhelm scream.
Yep. I'm sure. I think it appears in every trilogy also.
Yeah.
Like even the newer stuff. And there's also that there's that rumor that like every How come the door can only open part way like that?
I was gonna say something else too.
There's that. It's like there's that. Someone
First
says like
try.
every time Leia shoots, she never misses. Yep. There you go again. Not thinking about it.
Yeah, but it is kind of funny
For
how
luck.
Luke's just first try. Oh, it's the Force.
A very difficult shot with a grappling hook.
Well, it's nothing
Yeah.
what Obi-Wan did, dude. He was falling out of the skies of Kamino, and he just threw up his net.
But
or
I
not
mean, you
net.
could-
Oh my god.
Okay, you could argue the Force was helping, but
Well, that's what really any story that has magic or some kind of power system. It's like
well, no, but Luke only has a little connection to the Force right now, not enough to do that. Obi-Wan was already a Jedi Knight in Attack of
Right.
the Clones.
which makes me think
So-
like, wait a second. When you compare Luke to Rey, like what they were capable of in the first time you see them in the first movie, you're like, oh,
Yeah, Luke can't even deflect a training probe, whereas
Rey
Rey can
take down Kylo Ren,
All right.
someone who
Yeah.
took
Has
down
been
Luke
taught by
Skywalker's
Luke.
entire New Jedi Order. Ew, I don't like how he says, only a master of evil, Darth. And that little spin he does, it's like, ugh.
Yeah,
I don't know. I mean, I'm not trying to crap on it, but I love this movie a lot, and this fight scene is it's hard to watch. You get spoiled by the other movies. This is the worst lightsaber fight, I will say. As great as this movie is, this is the worst fight.
keep in mind this is the very first time we've ever seen a lightsaber fight.
I
at
know,
all.
and that's not even.
But
It's not the movie's
it's
fault.
just too.
I'm just.
It's just too. It is just two old guys going.
Yeah. In the little spin move, there's actually a like a updated version of it. Like somebody did a bunch of editing on this and combined it to where it's more on par with prequel and sequel trilogy fights.
Watching Darth just go.
I bet in '77 it was like, whoa, slow down. This is crazy.
This action's too quick.
I can't tell what's going on. Like this was the equivalent of a Transformers scene. Whoa, what's going on?
I wish they kept the tint of the blue ones kind of yellowish. You know, like how they originally looked.
I kind of like it where it's more of a clean blue.
No, yeah, I'm kidding.
Yeah, I'm curious to know what's going to happen to those bodies.
Everyone just happens to all the stormtroopers just happen. To, hey, look what Darth's doing! Yeah, go Darth!
That's literally what's going on. They're like fanboys right now. Like, hey, Darth Vader, he's my boss.
And then Luke goes and ruins it by going.
Well, hold on a second. In relationship to the Empire, what is Darth Vader's role? Because you have Grand Moff Tarkin. I think that's only a. You know, he's a leader of some kind. You have generals. You have commanders.
Grand Moff Tarkin is above Darth in rank because he gives Darth orders.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about when you went to the bathroom.
He's just like. I think Darth Vader is just some sort of like. I think he's just like a general, basically. He's just sort of this brute.
He was a favor hire by the Emperor.
I think all this is he's just strong and intimidating. That's all it is. He really has no like diplomatic power.
Yeah. I don't think he's ever referred to as anything other than Lord Vader. Like, that's the closest you get to any kind of.
Other than Lord and Darth, are always ever referred to as.
Yeah.
I loved him so much. He was such a mentor and father figure.
I've known him
to
for
me.
3 days, and I've seen memes and criticism of like, you know, here Luke is like, oh, I can't believe he's gone, and then Leia's like, my whole planet just got blown up. Suck it up, Buttercup. Like she's the one comforting him, and he's just.
Stop sulking.
They're like, yeah, let's
Come
go
on.
kill some people.
Revenge.
It's
Of the
he's got too much
Jedi.
of his father in him. Yeah, but
So
like
these were-
Leia,
'cause that's
technically, she really didn't get a chance to mourn like that. Like her entire planet blown up.
Well, maybe she did because she went back into the cell. Remember?
Well, right, but like for the effect of the movie, you saw like in character development,
Yeah.
you saw nothing. You just see her like swallow it
keep
and
in mind-
comfort Luke.
Keep in mind, Han Solo's on the top gun and Luke's on the bottom gun. So Han is literally laying like on his back, and Luke is hanging upside down.
He should be, yeah.
If
If you think,
if those windows are like that, but they don't.
yeah, if the interior does not match up with the outside,
Yeah.
it doesn't make sense almost. Wow, I feel like we're nitpicking right now. I feel like people probably hate us right now.
I'm sorry.
Like, don't get me wrong. I love this movie. I've seen it so many times, and I think because of that, I'm just finding things to say. It's kind of like what you said with the prequel commentaries. Like when you sit down and you force yourself to watch a movie and talk about it continuously, you start noticing things and you start thinking of,
Yeah.
you know. But if I shut
Yes,
my
no, we do
trap
not- we
and I
both-
watch this movie, it's pretty much the perfect viewing experience.
Yeah. No. Yes. We love this movie. It's just that
Ben's dead.
it's- you
I
sit
got
here
one.
and talk. It's just like the way those guns, they look like they're hanging upside down. I don't know. Some of it just.
You know, on certain TVs, I don't see it on this, but you can kind of see this outline on some of the TIE fighters, like this almost like green square box outside of the TIE fighters. I don't know if that's something you noticed before in the past or what, but we did it. I still don't understand, like Princess Leia, right? Princess Leia. Does that mean Bail Organa is king of Alderaan?
Of Alderaan?
Because the thing is, like, she's also, you know, very much seen as like a
Royalty?
not even that, but like, well, I guess I'm thinking more of Legends stuff because I used to read a lot of Legends. Like, she's very much into politics.
I mean, yeah, she's senator.
Yeah.
Well, no, that's
Yeah, I
Padme,
was, I was
sorry.
like, eh.
Yeah, sorry.
But in Legends afterwards, it was like politics, also a Jedi. But in the sequel trilogy, it was like
General.
of the Resistance, which should not exist technically. Because it's like a split faction of the New Republic. And she kind of gets away from politics. I care.
I care.
Oh, man.
It's like,
I care.
I care.
Such an innocent line.
Yeah.
Han's kind of a
It's like-
douche, you know? If you think about it.
Well, yeah,
But
it's-
he's
no,
cool, but like, you know.
No, that's intentional because then, like, obviously, like, you see him change.
Yeah.
By Jedi. Even in Empire, he's different. Yeah, he goes from this just smug, like, I only care about the money, to being, like, an active member of the Rebel Alliance. A vital member.
Do you have a favorite Han Solo line?
I know.
I like,
no, I like
when
that.
C-3PO
I like
is
that
telling
one.
him, he's giving him some obvious,
Never tell me the odds.
no. C-3PO is going down something that's like just so freaking obvious. And Han's like, I'm so glad you're here to tell us these things. He's like, Chewie, take the professor and plug him up back. Like, that's one of my favorite ones for sure.
Is that in...
It's in Empire.
Empire, yeah.
What kind of? That's a thick cord. Let's plug them into the outlet. Into the,
Gotta charge them.
yeah, just think that's. I mean, you'd think in Star Wars it'd be wireless charging, or some kind of unlimited battery.
They would have to be plugged in somehow, some way.
Yeah.
It's like your Family Guy. It's also like the pew, pew, pew. Got one. This little scanning thing or whatever it is.
Yavin 4 is a little reminiscent of Naboo, you know? Just a little bit, I think.
Yeah. What's that guy's name? The guy talking?
Dodonna?
That's it.
Is it?
I'm pretty sure that's it. Look at the chairs.
It's like
There's like fold out chairs.
like a church gathering on a Saturday evening outside.
They're having a potluck.
It's my chair.
They do. They look like folding chairs. I feel like I could take on the whole empire myself. Is Dak here?
I don't think so.
I guess Dak isn't really a pilot.
Is that kind of like that one guy? Kind of looks like Lloyd from Dumb and Dumber. Not him. Hang on.
What guy?
Might show him again.
Do you know how big that is? 2 meters?
And that's supposedly the size of a womp rat, 2 meters.
Yeah. That's more than 6.5 feet. It's like I used to hit womp. It's like, what's the line? It's like I used to.
I can't remember.
It's about the size of womp. Like it's essentially like going around. It's essentially like going around killing cows. Killing the womp rat like that.
Maybe George didn't. I don't know.
2 meters is the size of a womp rat. It's like 2 meters is the size of an average cow. We used to kill them back home.
Yeah.
So is that the reward that he has there?
It's just credits.
It's a lot of credits.
Yeah, like what kind of credits? Because there's imperial credits.
I guess wouldn't an imperial credit be worth more?
You could probably use it at more places, yeah. Because at that point, the Empire's, guess that's what you're best at.
I like this. You can already see the change
like,
going
"Shut
on
up."
right there. I thought you didn't believe in the Force. And Chew's like, what? Okay, if he's such good friends with Biggs, how come he wasn't sitting next to Biggs also at the meeting?
Yeah, because the room wasn't that big.
You know, because like you sit when you're doing like an assembly, you know, you try to sit next to your friends, right?
Yeah.
That way you guys can talk and goof off and stuff during it or whatever. If they're such good friends, how come he's not?
Well, not to mention it's a small room, so the likelihood of him seeing him,
It's like it'd be like, Biggs.
They have assigned seats.
And they're right here. They're acting like they're just now seeing each other.
Did he say Outer Rim terrorists?
Outer Rim territories.
Oh. I read that wrong. I think people forget sometimes the deleted scenes with Biggs.
Mm-hmm. Like that's like that little droid and I've been through a lot together. Really?
I mean, I guess It's been like a day. I mean, he did save his life.
That's like,
but
that's like, that's like, it's like to the love of my life. Every moment I've spent with you has been the happiest grace of my life. Happy 1 week.
yeah.
What?
The little R2 unit and I have
Episodes.
that little droid. We've been through a lot together.
Have you?
I mean, Well, hold on. It's been like a couple of days. I mean, what an insane turnaround for Luke's life. He went from being a farm boy who didn't want to be a farm boy. His uncle and aunt are dead.
Wanted to go to the academy.
It's got to be because like this feels like the same day, right? Is this not?
It does. It feels like this. It feels like the same day.
What a weekend!
Like,
it's at least a weekend.
Why is it so shaky when they're just literally just going just like?
That reminds me of the whole in the 50s and 60s when there's a driving scene. It's like when they're driving. Yeah, it's like, maybe going off the road, man.
Yes. This was all added, but this is good changes like this. It's like, oh my gosh, that's so cool looking now.
It holds up.
Man, I love the Y-Wings. Okay, how do they know who speaks when? Because they're not doing it in numerical order.
What do you mean?
It's like red 7 standing by, red 3 standing by, red 11 standing by.
When they have like
red
a bunch of like
standing
red
by.
4, like a bunch of overlay, like people saying it all at once.
Yeah, because it would be like gold leader standing by, red 1 standing by, red 2 standing by, red 3 standing by.
Isn't the actor that plays Wedge, Ewan McGregor's uncle?
Yes, Dennis Lawson.
It's an interesting fact.
It's cool. I wish she was in episode 7 and 8, but and he's just really just a cameo in 9.
Yeah, 9 was a lot of fan service. You can tell that's a model. Do you like how in Rogue One they have a guy named Red 5 die, essentially, where it's like, oh, Luke's going to take his place,
Yeah. They got an R3 unit going through there. This is the part I think that still stands up a lot. There's not a lot of he was originally supposed to be like a pig man.
Who?
Porkins, He was originally supposed to be like a pig alien.
Is his credited name actually Porkins?
Jack Porkins.
Poor guy. I think it's in Family Guy. He's like having a little trouble or whatever he says. Having a little trouble.
Yeah, it's got some problems.
Having a little trouble.
Got a little trouble. I guess they kill. Well, I'm not gonna spoil it yet.
You can spoil it.
I guess they kill Biggs. I guess to give Luke some more motivation.
Wait, I don't think he's died yet.
Or like,
got a little distracted with Porkins nonsense, but
no, she's not dead yet.
yeah, I mean he's going to die, but yeah.
Yeah, is it to just like to raise the stakes a little bit more?
Well, I mean, in a way, it's almost like I don't know. It's not cheap, but we literally just got introduced to Biggs. And it's like, oh, turns out they're friends. Like, oh, his friend died. I'm trying to think of another example that's kind of like that, where it's like you introduce something and then 5 minutes later it's supposed to have this big emotional impact almost. I don't think this movie is trying to do that, but that's definitely a thing. Aren't there supposed to be A-wings as well in this? And
No, we don't see A-wings until 6.
so right now it's just X-wing, Y-wing,
Yes.
and then 6 is like B-wing.
And A-wing, yeah, B-wing and an A-wing. And of course, like the Mon Calamari cruisers. Even though actually you do see one of those in Mos Eisley, but that was added later.
You ever seen that YouTube video? It's like Darth Vader, but with little Annie's voice.
No.
This part right here is pretty funny when you watch it, or if you were to watch it, you know. Watch for enemy fighters.
I'll take them myself. Cover me. I like how they look behind them, even though it's like check it in the rear view. They're in my blind spot.
Backup camera, you think? Oh no!
Oh no! Like they can't see that much behind them.
That was probably the most. Well. Red
boys.
Red boys. What's up, red boys?
Hey, red boys.
This one's for the red boys.
Team Man. Hold up here and wait for my signal. And so how come people have accents in these movies?
I wish there was one with like a really southern accent.
What?
I wish there was a guy that was like with a really southern accent. That'd be funny. Or like imagine like a Boston accent in Star Wars.
Hey, watch out. Hey, watch out for the fighters there.
They're coming in too hot.
We gotta be careful. There are too many of them. No offense to the people of Boston or the South. I think he's about to do it.
I feel like he would even need that.
Oh.
You know, the target, whatever that's supposed to be. I don't think Vader would even need it. So
What?
I feel like Vader wouldn't even need the target.
So I guess they're on like the top floor or whatever.
So who's left? Is it just Luke and
Well, Luke is there, Gold Leader is there, Wedge is there. There's still a Y-Wing also. This is where Gold Leader goes down. He's going like, ah!
He was like, oh no, I'm
Luke's like-
next. He's got a nice beard. It's almost like Abe Lincoln a little bit.
Oh, Biggs is still there.
Nice stash.
Not for long.
I kind of like how it's a lot of, it's very much similar to the dogfights and like the trench run. It's kind of cool.
What about that tower? I thought they only had 3 minutes.
Sometimes in
At
movies,
one point,
man,
they
it's
said
like
3
minutes can turn into 10.
or 10 minutes.
Or, that moment
2
where
minutes.
the villain has the protagonist at their mercy and they're like, this is the knife. It's like that. The point where he goes, that can turn into like 5 minutes. This kind of feels like episode 1 a little bit, with the
That's how clever episode 1 is, because it really makes you feel like episode 4 again.
It kind of does, though. I mean, trying to blow up a ship, albeit for a different reason. You've got a Skywalker.
Oh. They said they had 3 minutes 2.5 minutes ago, so they got 30 seconds.
I wonder if when they were editing this, they went and timed actually,
Well, if he was like, whatever, and just did it like this anyway,
and missed.
didn't use the Force.
I think there's a comic book. It's called, or a comic book series. I think I've mentioned this every single commentary almost, but Star Wars Infinities. I think there's one where Luke misses, or there's at least like a hypothetical story where Luke doesn't destroy the Death Star. It's somebody else.
It's like the Marvel What If comics.
That would probably kill R2. I think he'd be done.
Yeah. He took a direct hit.
I mean, to the noggin. I like how the Empire is very confident. They're just so confident in their Death Star.
Cocky.
Huh?
Cocky.
Yeah. Hubris.
What?
What?
Where was that light coming from?
What do you mean?
Behind the Falcon. It looked like the sun was behind them. What?
Tarkin's he's still confident. Yep. See, now the same thing happens to the second Death Star, and yet Rise of Skywalker, they act like it just little internal explosions, and it just fell and crashed on a planet. So you can see his eyes a little bit, Vader's eyes.
Yep. Luke, Wedge, and a Y-wing. Who's the pilot of that Y-wing? Because they're a hero too. Also, shouldn't Wedge get a medal too? And the Y-wing pilot?
Yeah.
Look how many pilots are there, though. There's 1, 2. There were 3 pilots back there, not even including Luke.
Yeah, Han was there for he just cheated basically. Just timed in whenever he wanted to.
It's like, hey guys, I'm here too. And he gets like the one.
He basically was like a bench warmer, like for an NBA team in the finals. Like a decent player got hurt. He subbed in, played a minute, and they won the championship. He gets finals MVP.
No, I think Wedge and that other pilot should be here too.
Yeah. Not to mention Chewie. Oh wait, sorry, species doesn't.
No, it's only humans, because there's no aliens here other than Chewbacca. Everyone else in here is a human.
But I've heard the explanation Wookiees don't accept medals or something.
Yeah, I think that was something someone came up with to defend.
I think it's in the comics. No. She's like, we're gonna kiss next movie.
Sorry, guys, we could only afford 2.
That blacksmith was a pain to negotiate with.
It's like, finally got cleaned up a little bit.
Luke, he looked like a little kid waiting for like he's like, I'm ready for my present. I like the ball caps.
I like how it's like oh yeah, that's right. R2 is damaged.
So is Leia in this? If this is like episode 1, Leia's boss Nass.
Yes. Peace.
Well, written and directed by George Lucas. Wow.
That's why it's bad. No, it's a great movie.
I'd give it. It's one of my favorite
great.
movies of all time. It's top 10. Yeah. Even though
Hey, Chewbacca doesn't get a medal, but he gets the last word. So,
yeah, I think that's.
I guess that's where we're gonna end it here.
Yeah.
I hope you like this. Again, this you're gonna be listening to this if you've listened to the whole thing. Go on the YouTube channel and check out. Also, it's going to be like a edited version of the video. It's like a best of, just funny moments from it. So, everyone stay safe out there. And hopefully sometime soon we'll be doing Empire, I guess, because this worked out pretty well.
Return of the Jedi.
Or maybe it hasn't turned out well because, like, when we start recording, it's like, yeah, no way we're letting you record the entire thing of Star Wars.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Anyway,
that's it.
Yep, that's Star Wars for us. And now I'm gonna. You guys can't see this right now, but I'm gonna stop recording now. So, yeah, everyone, stay safe. And if you want us to do anything else, email us at the podcast, personalpeoplepod@gmail.com. If there's anything you think would make for a good commentary, and who knows, if this is successful enough, we might keep with this format even after all is said and done. We might stick with this format because I like the idea of the video thing. So we'll have to see how it goes.
All right. Thank you for listening again. Have a good day. And goodbye.